How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Good evening and welcome to Canterbury High School for the boys soccer sectional in tonight's game between Snider and Canterbury. On the scoreboard, Snider will be the guest and Canterbury will be the home team. These athletes have trained hard to prepare to compete, and while they invite you to enjoy the game, they also remind you that this space is an athlete development zone. It belongs to the athletes, and they ask that you respect that by cheering and supporting their efforts in a spirit of fair play and good sportsmanship. Thank you for your cooperation. Now at this time, if you would please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's introduce our starting lineups. First for Snider, in goal, Michael Roberts. Number 2, Matt Lane. Number 3, Paul Boozman. Number 5, Cameron Burgett. Number 6, Jaden Nance. Number 8, Trent Morgan. Number 9, Riley Stevens. Number 11, Stevens Pierre Lewis. Number 17, Victor Galicia. Number 18, Saul Galicia. And number 20, Joe Wu. Snider is coached by Kyle Emmenheiser. Starting for Canterbury, in goal, Clayton Perry. Number 4, Max Moyle. Number 5, Ben Koontz. Number 8, Logan Lee. Number 11, Jamison Klein. Number 17, Brandon Renninger. Number 18, Braden West. Number 20, Alec Getz. Number 22, Cruz Garcia. Number 23, Jack Haynes. And number 24, Graham Kaufman. Canterbury is coached by Greg Mount. Good luck to both teams.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Hancock Field, Canterbury High School, SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital, bringing you this semifinal sectional matchup here with the host team, Canterbury Cavaliers, ranked 3rd in the state, coming in 13-1-2, led by Coach Greg Mott. They'll be hosting the Snider Panthers on the other side of the pitch. Come in 5 and 12 overall, coached by Kyle Emmenheiser. Winner of this match will play the winner of the second match here at Canterbury, which will be Dwenger, the SAC champ. They'll be playing Carroll, who beat Northrop in the opening round of this Canterbury sectional. So we will have Snider to kick it off. Have not had a chance to see Snider this year, but played in a tough SAC conference. These two squads did match up on August the 27th at the Plex, where Snider's home field is, with Canterbury coming out on top 2-0. Little heavy touch there as Klein pressured, still possessed. Here comes Lee to Klein. Klein, you got to cut out into space. He can cross it. Tries to nutmeg the defender, gets a pass. There's Logan Lee. Logan Lee has Cruz Garcia for an outlet, chose to cross it in, but that's picked up by the keeper. 0-0, Michael Roberts. 138 saves on the year, 11 goals against. A junior here for Coach Emmenheiser. Kaufman battles on the far end and called for it. Foul on the far side. Free kick, Snider. Very important this first 10 minutes or so for Snider to keep the high-powered offense of Canterbury off the scoreboard. One goal usually leads to two here at Hancock Field, where they play so well. As I mentioned, 13-1-2 overall this year, coming into the playoffs, ranked third in the state of Indiana. Head coach Greg Monk, such a well-respected coach in the state of Indiana, as that's a offside for Snider on Snider. Quick restart by Canterbury. Come to the near side of Cruz Garcia. Garcia, Moyle, Renninger, and Kuntz, the back four for Canterbury. Highly skilled. Here's Klein. Klein looks for the through ball to Kaufman. Good play by the keeper there, Roberts. Came off the line to grab that ball. Turned on. That was Jaden Nance, but that's a throw in. Cavs looking for Lee, hops past a Panther. This is dangerous in the box for Lee. Shot and rattles off the keeper for the first goal. So as I mentioned, needed to keep Canterbury off the board early, but that's Logan Lee with the first goal off the outstretched hand of the keeper, Mike Roberts, the junior, but that is the sophomore, number 8, Logan Lee, 9th goal on the year. Canterbury up 1-0 early. There's that high-powered offense that I mentioned. Had a good chance to see them quite a bit, but that all led from the just misplay and bad bounce, unlucky bounce on number 8, Trent Morgan. Center back for the Panthers. Hopped over the boot and left Logan Lee one-on-one. Another defender tried to close out but couldn't get it to him in time. That led to the cutback dribble by Lee and put it in off the keeper Roberts' hand. Here's Klein putting the pressure back on for Canterbury. Being marked by Boozman. Does force a throw in. Klein, quick throw in. Looks for West, the freshman, pushing the box, no call. Good shot there by Kaufman, but Roberts stood strong. Here comes Snider trying to push the attack. Cut off by Moyle. Good to see Max Moyle back in the lineup for Coach Mock. As here's Getz. Getz against Dwenger last week. Had a pair of goals at the top of the penalty box. Here's Braden West, the freshman. And that's dispossessed by Snider. Nice play by number 8, Trent Morgan. Quick shot came in there that time by Haynes. Saved by Roberts. Headed up. Throw in. Canterbury. Coach Mock's got to be happy with a quick goal to start. This is kind of how the Bishop Dwenger game started last week, which ended, from my recollection, 6-1, I believe. Throw in and possession still with Canterbury. Quick throw into Klein. Klein's dangerous in the box. Turns on his defender and shoots it top corner for goal number 2. Jamison Klein started that match off last week against Dwenger with a hat trick. Started 3 strong goals for Klein, and he comes out early here in the first 5 minutes to put the second goal on the board for Canterbury. Such a high potent offense for Canterbury. 2-0 Cavs. So see the one-on-one display of skill being put on by Canterbury. We're at the 2-0 mark. We play 2 40-minute halves as Garcia lets a rip over to Coons. Coons tries to head it to Kaufman. Kaufman tried to pick out Coons, but that's out to touch. It did ricochet off of Panther. Quick throw in looking for Lee. Lee has great speed out on the pitch. Give him space and he'll take advantage, but is also really crafty with the ball. As you can see right there, look at this pass to West. Has Garcia, chooses to leave it to Haynes. Haynes has a size advantage, but just walked over the ball. Trying to break out number 11, Pierre Lewis. Headed back into danger. Close to offsides, being pressured. Max Moyle, one of the better defenders, been injured for Coach Mock. As I mentioned, good to see him back in the lineup. So pressure being put on by the Panthers here in the first game of the doubleheader semifinal action of the S10 sectional here at Canterbury High School. Blocked by West. Lee's up top. Has Klein. Klein has a step on his defender. Good pressure by Paul Boozman, the junior, for Snider. Kaufman for the throw in, looks for Klein. Klein tries to chest it down, but that's dispossessed. That was Jaden Nance. And that ball is no harm. So goal kick for Snider. Looks like number 3 Boozman will take it with the right boot. Headed back in by Haynes, picked up by James. And at Kaufman. West settles at his foot, has Haynes and Getz pushing up. And that's exactly where Lee left it. Tried to go give and go with Lee. Lee liked the idea. Picked up by Roberts. Roberts was there. Haynes just heavy on that touch, settles with the Panther. There's Getz. Getz loves to control that midfield as with Haynes. Look at this ball. Picked out Kaufman nicely. Kaufman's going to turn on his defender. That was Nance. Getz, left-footed shot. There's Roberts in position.
Good work, Wade!
2-0 is your score. Headed up and try to progress the attack, did Kaufman, but no one was there. Lee was more in the center of the pitch, but being pressured, double team there of West and Lee. And good composure on the ball by Snider. West. Back to Renninger. Renninger and Moyle, 2 of the better center backs in the city, if not the state of Indiana. There's Klein. Moyle. Right foot across into the box, looking for Kaufman. Ball does fall down. Good touch there to West. West looked for the one touch to Lee, couldn't get it to him, and cleared out by Snider. Unger had the clearance on that. As Renninger missed the header. Has Kuntz and Moyle back there. Dangerous ball. So just squeaked it there past the attacker, Pierre Lewis. Garcia, West, tried to leave it for Garcia, but just couldn't connect. Throw in for Snider. Up comes Boozman. For Snider, captain. Has number 5, Burgett with him. Chooses to go to number 2, and Lane. That's put on by number 8, Morgan. Good body control there on the far side by Riley Stevens. Has a goal on the year. Quick throw in. Settled by Lane. Over the head of West. Kuntz trying to track it down. Does, and clear. Good put back into danger as that come off Moyles. Max Moyle, and now off West's foot. So ping pong ball action now, trying to break out Klein. Look at the speed, but there's number 3, Paul Boozman, in good position. Throw in. Canterbury, quick one to Klein. He was onside. Kaufman, right foot across into Lee. Lee wanted to go to West on that. Miscommunication, but Canterbury still possess. Kuntz. Renninger. West. Back to Renninger. Renninger does have 7 goals on the year. Here's Lee. Logan Lee, the sophomore. Has Garcia if he chooses to switch it. Is not. It's going to stay here with Kaufman. Left foot across. Has Haynes. That did ricochet off a Panther. Should have been a corner. Called a goal kick. That did ricochet off a Panther. Must have just missed it off their line of sight, or the referees, but either way, Snider goal kick. And number 8, Trent Morgan, 3 goals on the year. Their high goal scorers, number 2, Matthew Lane, with 5 on the year. I've mentioned Michael Roberts several times with the attacking pressure as Lee, watch him pop it through. Almost got it as Boozman did clear. Moyle, look for Garcia. Unger. Taken by Lee. Lee has West, check this ball. Just a bit behind, another ball here. Kaufman, and good pressure back, but not called. Getz looks to throw it into the top of the box. There's Lee. Lee took the shot and over the crossbar. 2-0. 28-27 to play in the first half. We play 2 40-minute halves. Canterbury already up 2-0. Scored in the 37th minute by Logan Lee. Followed in the 35th minute by Jamison Klein. We sit at 2-0 in the semifinal, first game of the Canterbury sectional. There's Lee, tried to leave it to Klein, and there's Boozman. Ball comes into West, being marked. Galicia, ball came in nicely and cleared out by the Panther D. Kuntz looking to keep the pressure on, and does with the ball to Kaufman. Kaufman with a good-looking right-footed cross, finds Klein. Good switch. Klein has Garcia. Try to get it through the legs there of the defender. As that was a dangerous ball play as Klein picks it up. Loses control for a minute and puts the cross in, but there is Roberts with the good positioning.
Good work, White!
Good job, Snider. Keep going.
So another save for Roberts. That's 4 saves unofficially for Roberts. Here in the first half, Klein just couldn't pick out the angle with Lee, but Lee got a piece of that to get it to Haynes. Haynes tried to Release Klein and miss hit there by Unger. Throw in Canterbury. Haynes is going to come down to take the throw. Sub on the pitch. Kaufman will take a seat. I believe that's Logan Schreiber. It is. Onto the pitch. Ball comes in. West there. Try to go far post. Came right back down to West, and good save by Roberts. Roberts keeping them in the game right now with another save. Off the shot from Lee. Ball came down off the deflection right at Lee's feet, or excuse me, West's feet. And West about hit it in under the post, excuse me, the crossbar for the third goal for Canterbury. Cross comes in the corner. Schreiber is over the net. (2-0). Goal kick for Boozman. As Canterbury will look to keep the pressure on. 25 minutes to play in the first half of this first game. Semi-final round. Indiana sectionals, playoff action. Throw-in comes in, can't control by Snider. Comes back to number 19 and Galicia. Kuntz. Schreiber, good walkover, dummy to himself, has Lee, gets at the top of the box. Schreiber takes it in the defender and mishit by Snider, but picked up now. That's Morgan. Look for Pierre Lewis, and cleared out by Roberts. Moyle will try to track it down. 2-0 your score, Canterbury on top. West, good move and fake. To Schreiber. Schreiber shields the defender nicely as Getz tried to get in, rolled back to Moyle. Klein. Cruz Garcia made the overlapping run as Klein goes to the right foot. Comes back out now to Cruz Garcia. Garcia with the good fake and the right-footed cross, headed out by Snider. Garcia puts it back in, and Roberts once again in position. 23rd minute here. 2-0 your score. Most of the action has been on the attacking end for Canterbury. Snider playing an awful lot of defense as Schreiber. Good piece of skill right there, and just couldn't finish as that was deflected out. Great move by the sub. Logan Schreiber does have 4 goals on the year. He is a senior. Lee will take the corner from the far flag. Right-footed in-swinger here. Has plenty in the box for Canterbury. Haynes right there almost on the goal line. Ball gets popped back out towards Lee. There's Kuntz, puts it back in, missed the foot of Haynes, and popped out over the end line. That should be a corner. It is, so another corner for Canterbury. They're up 2-0. Lee will take it once again. This time, Klein and Haynes battling with the keeper Roberts. Ball comes in, far post, and went all the way through the box clean. No one could get on the end of it for Canterbury. Rolls out for a goal kick. 22 minutes to play in the half. 2 40-minute halves. SummitCitySports.com bringing you this action. Jake Atkinson on the camera. Tim Atkinson bringing you this play-by-play action. Getz picks out Klein. Klein filters back to Garcia. Garcia chooses to go to the top of the box looking for Schreiber. Haynes takes it. Haynes, right-footed shot, deflected, and parried down nicely by Roberts. Another save. Renninger just too heavy, disappointed with himself on that one, and cleared out by Boozman. But the Cavs back on the attack, gets out to Schreiber. Schreiber been going past his defenders at will, sets his time off the bench as Lee give and go with Klein. Klein trying to take it through the defense and couldn't. Picked off nicely. Morgan out. And now possession still cut by Snider and finally cleared out by Boozman. Moyle, good header here near side to Garcia. Garcia will cut it back. I think he was looking for Haynes there, but found Getz. Then Kuntz. Jameson Klein. Lee, he'll rip it from there. Right foot, cuts it to the left, back to the right. That's a nutmeg, and that's got to be a foul, and that looked like that was inside the box. It should be a penalty kick, but referee will call it right outside the box. Outstanding move put on by Logan Lee. Already 1 goal. On the board, here's West and Lee lining up. This is a freshman and sophomore, ladies and gentlemen. Future bright, as always, here at Canterbury. This is the 2A sectional. Canterbury did choose to play in the 2A this year, as I'll explain that later on in the broadcast. West is going to take it off the wall, back of the head of number 6, Jaden Nance. Nicely blocked, but here's Klein, put pressure on, ground cross came in and deflected up over the crossbar by Snider. Corner coming here for Lee. Getz will head over for the corner. Right-footed outswinger coming from Alec Getz, as the referee will allow the substitutions to come on. 3 subs in for Snider and 1 in for Canterbury. That's Kai Caudill, Messagosa, Graber. Couldn't see the other one that checked in. Ball comes in and headed out by Snider. Garcia puts it into the box. Swept out by Snider. That's a Bella. That's who the other check-in is. Doesn't have a goal on the year. Gets ball in the box, headed out by Snider. Lee. That was an attempted shot, as no call. As the Canterbury player went down, that was Schreiber. Possessed by Lee. Nice little move on the Panther, but now possessed by them. Snider looking to release near side here, Messagosa. As Clayton Perry will come out, haven't talked about him much, the freshman keeper. Not a whole lot of pressure being put on the freshman here this evening here in the first 22 minutes or so of the first half. Defense has been strong in possession. Tight for Canterbury, as that's cleared out once again by Snider. That will be, as the referee is going to come up and call a foul on Schreiber as Boozman hit the ground. Free kick for Snider coming, and Coach Kyle Ammenheiser. Finished tied for 3rd in the SAC. Bishop Dwenger, who was in the second match here tonight in the semifinal round, facing Carroll. They did win the SAC, Summit Athletic Conference, at 7-0. Northrop finished 2nd. This ball is trying to be cleared out by Kuntz. Out to touch to Snider. 17 minutes to play here in the first half. 2 40-minute halves. Have about a 10-minute halftime, which we'll take a short break, and then after the match we'll hop down and try to get you some interviews. And then we'll stick around and check out the second match between Carroll and Bishop Dwenger. It's going to be an intense match, as Renninger's going to track that down. First bit of attack for Snider since the early going. That is out to touch to Snider. Burgett was on the ground for a second. I think it was just just tying a shoe. Snider throw in, ball comes in. Snider trying to hold possession and just can't keep it long enough, as here comes the attack for the Cavs. Lee does get it from Shiver. Look at the chip and just over the crossbar. Good piece of skill once again. Shiver laid it to Lee, tried for the chip shot and just over the crossbar. Ton of skill being displayed here at Hancock Field, Canterbury High School. Boozman, goal kick out. Kai Caudill. That's number 3 in the match. Keegan Lee for Canterbury. Gatz trying to get to it, does strongly. Sweeps it over to Klein. Klein has tons of space. Right footed cross, comes in on the ground, and Lee tried to get his right foot on it, gets it somehow, and there's your goal. Second goal for Logan Lee. Outstanding, just never gave up on that ball in the box. Kept control of it, finally found enough time with the possession to rip a right-footed shot past the keeper, Roberts. Nothing he could do. 3-0 is your score. Cavs on top. Snider will have your kickoff. A little bit of, have seen this explosion on offense many times here for Canterbury. They come at you with waves. Their subs are outstanding soccer players as well. Coach Greg Mock just has an outstanding program running here at Canterbury High School under the athletic director, Ken Harkenrider. Always great hosts here at Hancock Field, Canterbury High School. Gatz, Klein, couldn't get to it in time. Throw in Snider. 14.5 to play here in the first. Not a lot of movement for Snider, and that's what the fans are asking for. Moyle chests it right to a Panther foot, and Burgett. Back to number 7, Graber. Graber tries to switch it, and to pick out number 15, Stevens. Settles down to number 13 there, Aguilar, and dispossessed by Lee. Back to Lee. Caudill thought he had Klein on the run, but Jamison Klein stopped his run on that play. Headed back in for Kuntz, but just came off the side of the head, out to touch. Back to Snider. Throw in, Kuntz clears it out once again. Snider will creep up. It'd be huge to get a goal in this last 13 minutes. At least to break the momentum, to give yourself a little confidence going into the halftime rest areas. You have, looks like Dwenger. Yeah, it's Dwenger down here on the left end line near side by the corner flag, taking in the action as they get ready to face Carroll this evening. 7 o'clock start time on that. Carroll ranked number 15 in the state in Class 2A. Dwenger just falls right out of the top 20 as an honorable mention. Caudill has an open space. That's going to be called against Canterbury and Logan Shiver. Boozman tries for the quick restart. Does. That's number 2 into the contest. Mick Clark has a pair of goals. He's a sophomore. There's Shiver. Good walkover, dummy to himself. Right-footed cutback shot. Goal 4th goal here in the first half for Canterbury. That time, Logan Schreiber off the bench to put it behind Moore. Moore again just had no chance on that one, as Logan Schreiber made a nice walkover move, dummy move to himself, confused the defender for a second, which put him right in front of the penalty area and tucked it back left side. Caught Roberts off balance as Roberts was falling to his left. His Klein cut it back to his right. Once again, beautiful piece of skill. One-on-one class on the ball for Canterbury. Seen it time and time again this evening here in the first game of the semifinal round of the Canterbury sectional. Boozman to take the free kick. This could be a good chance here as Moyle heads it down, but right to a Snider Panther. Came down, and that's going to roll out. Let's see what the call. Call is going to be a corner. So the first corner for Snider, 11.5 to play. First real attacking opportunity. Need to get somebody, at least put it on goal, as that's number 15, Zachary Stevens, the junior, will head to the near corner flag to take the kick. Right-footed in-swinger comes in, middle of the penalty area, and headed out by Schreiber, and cleared out by Keegan Lee. Throw in Snider. Subs in here for the Panthers, Coach Emmenheiser. There's a throw in. Graber looking for help. Finds it. Abella takes a right-footed shot, but there's Clayton Perry. Just a little left of that near post. No real danger for Canterbury on that. Perry, good kick out. Good play by Caudill. Popped it up and volleyed it to himself, but there's Boozman once again with the clearance. Throw in for Canterbury. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Quick throw in. That's Caudill. Look at that piece of skill. And that's going to roll out over the end line for a corner. Another Canterbury corner. Another Canterbury corner. Up 4-0 are the Cavs. Caudill with the right-footed in-swinger. That one just miss-hit out to number 14 Corbett. Ian Corbett. Ball comes down, headed out by Snider. Caudill sweeps it towards the end line. Looks left-footed cross. Roberts was there. If he didn't get on that, right there was number 3, Keegan Lee, the sophomore. Ready for any kind of deflection. As was number 6, Sean Smits, the junior. Handball called on the Cavs. 9 minutes remaining in the first. Boozman. Settled down to Lee. Smits. Caudill has a pair of Cavs to his left. Picks out the one closest and easiest, and there's a little touch shot by number 3. Keegan Lee, but he was offside. Offside the call on Canterbury, so we'll stay 4-0. Free kick coming for Snider. 8 minutes to play here in the first. As I mentioned, Canterbury 2A this year. The last 2 years they played the mandatory 2 years of Class A after winning back-to-back state titles in the Class 1A. But as a school and administration, they chose to stay in the 2A this year and play the best of the best. And You can see how that's paid dividends for Coach Mock. Nice touch by Mick Clark. Has a pair of goals on the year. But there was Roberts. Has added to his save total here this evening. Been under constant fire. Aguilar. And that's dispossessed by Canterbury. Back for Snider, but not enough patience on the ball there. Popped up, Renninger trying to track it down. Heads it out, as that's going to be a foul called by the assistant referee on the far end. 7 minutes to play, 4-0. Your score. Canterbury on top. Lee hit the first goal in the 37th minute, followed by Klein in the 35th. Followed by Lee's second goal in the 15th minute. Then Schreiber struck right away after Lee with the fourth goal of the game in the 12th minute. That's where we sit, 4-0. Canterbury on top of this semifinal, first game of the doubleheader of the sectionals. Smits at the top of the box, has help in Schreiber. Schreiber, good control. Caudill tried to just flicked off Smits. Back heel, didn't even see it coming. That's just the way the luck's been going for the Cavs. Ball comes in and just too high for Schreiber as Caudill. That is deflected off Caudill for a goal kick. Snider, 6 minutes to play in the first. 2 more subs as Coach Mock really being able to get his roster rotated into this first half means immense. This is a tough run in games with the Wednesday and Saturday final. The final is Saturday, 2 o'clock here at Canterbury. SummitCitySports.com, you know, will be out here for your coverage, as we also plan to get the girls Carroll sectional final. That will be 7 p.m. at Carroll High School Saturday night. So maybe college football weekend for some and most, but as always, this broadcaster choosing and loving to do the high school soccer action. Schreiber made a good play on the ball, but looks like he's going to get scolded by the referee. Excuse me, that is called on Snider. Corbett over the ball as the referee will push back the line in front of this free kick as the time rattles down to 4.5 to play in the first. Corbett, watch for the action on the far end. Goes far post and just too much for number 2, Mick Clark. You can see what Coach Mock had planned for that free kick. Into the game, number 21, Keegan McCardle. And number 12, Ethan Swinty. Swinty's a sophomore. Schreiber and Lee, Keegan Lee, will take a seat. Caudill look to pop it to Smits. Snider needs some possession here to finish the half. 4 minutes to play. Caudill. Canterbury back with possession. Headed over near side by number 15, Ryan Warman. Warman's had some huge starting experience and minutes with the injury to Max Moyle. That's Caudill. Nice play on the ball. Caudill takes it towards the end line, but there's Roberts for the save. 3.5 to play. 4-0. Canterbury on top of Snider. Headed down and little possession for the Panthers. Renninger is there to stymie the attack, but throw in for Snider. Abella look for the quick throw in, but we do have subs coming in on the far side. That's number 3, Keegan Lee, back in. And that's number 2, Matthew Lane, the senior, 5 goals on the year. Cleared out by Canterbury. And just a missed touch, but now corralled. And no communication for Snider. And a big issue for them here in the first 40 minutes of this match. Corbett clears it out and looking to match up to Smits, headed back by Boozman. And come down to number 19, Galicia. Cardle finds Caudill. Caudill has Smits. Smits being marked by Boozman. And that's a shoulder charge by Boozman. And not called by the assistant referee on the near side. Was right in front of him. Under 2 minutes left in the first half. Headed. Bella. Snider just can't keep possession. And a huge issue for the Panthers here this evening with the early 5 o'clock start. Minute and a half to play. Quick throw in, looking to break out Smits. Headed and cleared out by Snider, but Swinty does control. Here's Corbett. Popped up on the attempted clearance. Swinty tried to get to it, but there was number 18, Sean Galicia. Excuse me, Saul Galicia. Swinty comes near side to Corbett. Corbett has McCardle. McCardle playing a more offensive role than I've seen him in the past. Chested down by Swinty. Warman. Corbett. Good piece of control up the box, up the line to McCardle. McCardle with a nice flick on to Smits. And cleared out by Paul Boozman. 30 seconds left here in the first. Canterbury up 4-0. Smits looks for the cross and cleared out by Snider, but not far enough as Smits takes back control. Leaves it to McCardle. McCardle being pushed. Right-footed cross and cleared back out by Snider.
Let's go,
Jake Nance with the clearance as Caudill. Right-footed corner and just a hand on it by Roberts, as that's all it took, because there was 2 Canterbury Cavaliers on that far post ready for the easy header. So good offensive explosion by Canterbury, scoring 4 goals in the first half. 2 by Lee, 1 by Klein, and 1 by Shiver, spreading the well for Coach Mock. So Summit City Sports will take a short break for this halftime and join you for the second half action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hancock Field, campus of Canterbury High School, where we are in the semifinal round of this 2A sectional. Canterbury on top 4-0 over the Snider Panthers here as we get ready for the second half action. 2 goals in the first half by Logan Lee, a goal by Scheiber and Jamison Klein. So we sit at 4-0. Keeper for the Panthers, the junior keeper, has been extremely busy. That is 00 Michael Roberts. This is the first game of the doubleheader. The second matchup will be Bishop Dwenger, who's ranked just outside the top 20. They will be playing the winner of Monday's game, the Northrop Carroll match, as Carroll won that match 1-0 on the right foot of Alex Anderson. They will play face-off against Dwenger in the second match of the evening. Again, this is SummitCitySports.com. Jake Atkinson on the camera. Tim Atkinson bringing you this play-by-play action. We are brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Please check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. And check out all our highlights and full game videos from football, volleyball, and of course, soccer. Girls and boys soccer. I've covered both. As Getz tries to put it back in the attacking end, as he does to Logan Lee. Lee finds West. West has Kaufman, leaves it back to Lee. Lee with the right-footed shot, and tried the angle shot to the top right angle, but just under it just a bit. Goal kick coming for Snider.
Oh, Black, go get the ball now.
Boozman will take it with the right foot out near midfield. Flicked on by number 8, Trent Morgan, and cleared out by Garcia.
Push up, Black, push.
So we start the second 40 minutes here at on Hancock Field, Canterbury High School. Snider in a huge hole against the third-ranked team in the state, the Canterbury Cavaliers. That was running or shielding off, but it did get possessed by number 2, Matthew Lane. But not enough to danger the freshman keeper, Clayton Perry's. He'll boot the ball out once again near midfield. Logan Lee's going to settle back here to Kuntz. Kuntz has Kaufman. He's on. Kaufman comes back to Kuntz. Kuntz saw Klein on the cut. And there's Roberts. As Klein complaining about the hold on Boozman. Ball flicked back to Klein. Klein look for the flick to Lee. Lee settles it with the right foot. Leaves it to Kaufman. Kaufman with the right footed shot. Good attack once again for Canterbury. They just don't stop. Another save for the busy goalkeeper and Michael Roberts, the junior. These 4 goals not on his back by any means, as the offensive pressure by Canterbury has just been too much for the Panthers. Kaufman was battling, as that's going to settle to Lee. Lee comes this back to the center pitch, and good help defense there by Jaden Nance to clear it out to touch. Canterbury will still control possession. Throw in. There's Klein. Klein to space. Right-footed cross to West, and that was just too easy there. Jamison Klein left with too much space. West made the run right down the center of the box. Klein found him for an easy goal. 5-0 is your score.
Well done, White.
West with the goal for Canterbury. 5-0. Canterbury making a statement coming off their game last week against Dwenger, the SAC champ, who will be playing Carroll in the second match. An outstanding juggernaut for Coach Mock and his Cavaliers. Will be extremely excited. Here comes Lee, has Kaufman with him, try to get it to him, but Boozman's there, as he's been there time and time again. That back line for Snider. Renninger, Haynes, pushed, and called now. Push on number 8, Trent Morgan. Free kick coming Canterbury. As Moyle wanted to run up to take it. As that looks like what will happen. Moyle with the right foot. 4 Cavs in play. Comes into the box. And there is Roberts. Moyle tried to get it to Kaufman, just couldn't, and that's rolled out far side. Lane. Garcia with good pressure, but still possessed by Snider. Back to number 6 and Nance. Morgan looked out far side to Roush. Good pressure by Garcia, caused a turnover. Klein cut it back on the defender. Left it to Garcia, who finds West, who just put it in the back of the net on the nice assist by Klein. There's a right-footed flick by Logan Lee. Found just enough space inside the left post on the pass by the good run by Logan Lee. 34.5 to play. Logan Lee, let's make it a hat trick. 6-0 Canterbury. Nice ball played in once again. Tactically just been too much. Wave after wave of offensive pressure being displayed here tonight at Hancock Field. 6-0 Canterbury on top of the Snider Panthers. Good slide tackle by Moyle. Up by 6 goals, and Moyle still making the sliding tackle. Shows you the effort usually on display by Canterbury. Throw-in just hopped over Haynes' boot, picked up by Snider. That's going to ricochet off Schreiber. Nope, take that back. It'll ricochet off a Panther. Haynes will look to throw in. 33.5 to play in the match. First game of this doubleheader, semi-final round action here in this Canterbury sectional. SummitCitySports.com brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Footed down to Haynes. Haynes looked to flick it towards Smits. Lane taken away by Getz. Good takeaway, but Renninger there was to help out his teammate in Kuntz. That's flicked on by Getz to Kaufman. Kaufman has West on the overlay. He's going to take the shot. Look for the bender, but just didn't curl enough. Went out for a goal kick. 33 minutes to play in the match. 6-0 your score. Canterbury on top. Half ended 4-0. 2 early goals within the first 7 minutes of the second half to push it 6-0. Logan Lee with a hat trick here this evening. Logan Lee with his 11th goal on the year. Kaufman tries to throw it down to the corner flag to Smits. And good pressure, good shoulder-on-shoulder action for a goal kick. Boozman will take the goal kick once again. Headed up, but there was Kaufman. Smith's battling with Nance. That's going to be called on Nance. Guys, that's what the call is. Was called on Canterbury, as Boozman will take the free kick. Junior. Number 3, Paul Boozman, puts it into the attacking area, and there's the backup keeper. I believe that's Michael Talaga. Haynes does get to that 50-50 ball and holds possession. To break out Kaufman there on the through ball. Comes out to touch. Back to Corbett and the Cavs. Looks for Smits, but we do have subs on the far side. 30.5 to play in the match. And for Canterbury, Caudill, number 1 and number 3, Keegan Lee. West and Haynes will take a seat. West with a goal here in the second half of the 36th minute. Throwing to Corbett, looking for Smits, and Smits heads it out to touch to Snider. That'll be Nance to take the throw. Caudill, Smits, left it to Lee. Finds Garcia. Look for Smits, that came across the box. Lane, and just too heavy of a touch there for Morgan. Smits, Kaufman with the left-footed cross. Schreiber was there, but headed up by a Panther. That was Nicholas Graver. And right-footed shot by Schreiber, and the keeper just got off balance. Did Roberts, and with the right foot, Logan Schreiber tucked it into the net. Just a freak play for Roberts. Nothing he could do, just got off balance. So that's where we'll be with Schreiber's second goal. We are at 7-0. Canterbury Cavaliers on top of the Snider Panthers. Canterbury making a statement here this evening. Third ranked in the state. Came into tonight's match 13-1-2 as Caudill kept the pressure on with Smits and cleared out by Snider. Swinty undercut there by number 2, Lane. Out to Corbett. 29 minutes. Schreiber back to Corbett, swept it back to Moyle. Moyle has help, chooses to come near side here to Kuntz. Kuntz had Clark, chose to look for Caudill, picked up by Smits. Smits looked for Schreiber, cleared out nicely by Snider, and they were offside. Canterbury was offside. So we sit 7-0, 29-15 to play in the match. First game of the semifinal round of sectionals here on Hancock Field, Canterbury High School. Canterbury still rolling from the match last week against the SAC champs, Bishop Dwenger, who will face off against Carroll here in the second match of the doubleheader. Schreiber tried to keep it in and couldn't. Out the touch to Snider. Snider gonna switch the throw in here. So that's, I believe, James. Boozman, but helped out by Morgan and dispossessed by Smits. Good three-man game by Canterbury. Back to Caudill. This looks nice. Caudill went with the right-footed shot, ricocheted off a Panther for a corner kick to Canterbury. As the clock didn't start right away back on that restart. That's what the assistant referee saw and is helping out his referee with the time. as I think it was only maybe 30, 40 seconds. It wasn't an unearthly amount of time that the clock was stopped. But let's see what the official call is by the referee with the help by his assistant here on the near side. As we have the small break in the action, I want to thank again Parkview Hospital for helping us bring you this action from sectionals here in Class 2A. SummitCitySports.com. Jake Atkinson on the camera. Tim Atkinson giving you the play-by-play here this evening. You can check out our YouTube channel, Summit City Sports, and subscribe to our channel. Free, of course, as the cross comes in. And that was kneed by Clark, but there was Roberts to save. 26 minutes to play. Ball comes up near us. That took a big bounce up and into the stands. Clark, nice piece of skill, left it to Caudill, and Caudill swept it right past his defender. Left-footed cross and cleared out by Snider, out to touch to Canterbury. (7-0) Canterbury on top of Snider. That's going to be a bad throw-in and a turnover by Canterbury. Out to touch now to Snider. Last matchup by these two schools was on August the 27th at the Plex, with Canterbury taking the 2-0 win. That was on August the 27th, so a lot has changed since then. Obviously, Snider coming into tonight's match in sectionals 5 and 12 overall, tied for third in the SAC, just behind the champs Dwenger and second place Northrop. Canterbury, of course, an independent. It's free to schedule as will, and they do schedule the best programs in the state. They came into tonight 13-1-2, as here comes Smits, and pressure by Boozman. And Boozman made a nice play on the ball. Came back out here, Corbett. And that's going to be kicked out over the midfield line. Warman looked for Caudill. Kuntz. Morgan. And just offside was number 2, Matthew Lane. But offside is the call. Real only chance here in the second half for Snider was right there in front of our eyes, which was shut down by the assistant referee on the near side for the offside.
Information will be sent out. Okay, by the end of the week.
Roberts with the boot. 23 minutes to play in the match. First game of the semifinal round. Winner of this, which obviously is looking more and more Canterbury here as Moyle picks that up. Winner of this match will play the winner of the second match between Dwenger and Carroll. Summit City Sports will still be out here for that match to give you that coverage. Corbett looked for Smits. Smits just too heavy on the touch, couldn't get to Swinty. That's going to be a foul called on Canterbury. Free kick coming for Snider. 22 minutes to play in the match. Score is 7-0.
Serve him up, kid.
And the free kick will come in from Snider, right foot, and harmless for the keeper will be a goal kick for Canterbury. So it looks like McCardle back on the pitch, along with number 9, Robert Davidson for Canterbury. So it looks like Davidson will slide into that central attacking midfield role for Coach Mock. Missed header by Lee. Flicked on off the arm of Warman, but rolls harmlessly back to the keeper. Rolled back out here quickly to Kuntz. Finds Lee. Smits. Swinty. Swinty looked for the flick on, but picked off by Boozman. And the keeper will be there for the easy grab. 21 minutes to play in the match. 7-0 your score. Canterbury on top. Smits looked for the flick on with the header. Couldn't get it to go. Rolls out the touch to Canterbury. They'll keep possession. Quick throw in. Taken down towards the corner flag. Looking for the cross, Smits, and bumped by Boozman was Davidson, but still out to touch to Canterbury. Throw in here from Corbett. Ian Corbett, number 14. Cross comes in, picked up by number 15, and that's going to be a foul called on Canterbury. Number 2, Mick Clark. Under 20 minutes now remaining in the match. Canterbury's offense been in full display. Not only offense, it seemed like they were kept possession most of that 40 minutes in the first half, which ended with a 4-0 deficit. Came out in the second half, scoring 2 quick goals within the first 6.5 minutes for Coach Mock. That pushed it to 6-0. And then the 7th goal, a little icing on the cake by Logan Schreiber off the beautiful cross. Came in and tucked it back of the goal. $18.50 to play in the match. Beautiful Wednesday night out here. Southwestern Fort Wayne. We're at the host team, Canterbury Cavaliers Field, Hancock Field, Canterbury High School. Beautiful campus. Fort Wayne Country Club golf course across the street. And behind the pitch, $18 as that goes over the crossbar. Good effort by Snider. Not giving up here. We do have a substitution coming in on the pitch for Snider. Out to Corbett. Laces it to Smith. Smith's flicked it on. Shoulder down by Boozman. There's Schreiber. Schreiber cuts it back to the right foot, but there was the help defense by number 7, Graber. This is number 19, Austin Galicia. The small limp. So Talega out. Replaced by Tanner Camp. Comes in off the head of Clark, but Clark couldn't get his third goal of the year. Goal kick for Snider. Boozman will once again take it. Been pretty consistent on that. We sit 7-0. Canterbury on top. 4-0 at half. Canterbury has been in control from the very jump. Scored with 37:41 left to go in the first half. That was their first goal of the game. Not only 2 minutes later did Jamison Klein put in the second. So 16 minutes left in the match. 7-0, Canterbury on top. As that's make it 8-0. As Schreiber puts in another goal. Make it a hat trick now for Schreiber. His second hat trick in 2 games. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 6 goals in 2 games. Logan Schreiber been on fire. Just at the right place at the right time. Consistently for Coach Mock. 8-0 Cavs. Ball comes right back to McCardle. That was Corbett. Smits has Clark and cleared out by Jaden Nance. Corner coming for Canterbury. 15.5. Ball comes in, right-footed in-swinger off the head of McCardle, but another save for Snider and Roberts. They did finish tied for 3rd in the SAC. Dwenger won that. Went undefeated, 7-0. Coons cuts it back. Look at the composure on the ball. Went right through the wickets there of number 15, Stevens. Smith's looking for the cross. Cut it back. Finds Clark. I got the Coons. Coons. It's a tug of the jersey, but it's cleared out to touch. Smits. He's going to take the right-footed shot. Deflected off of Boozman, but no trouble for Roberts. 8-0, Canterbury on top. What a tough sectional this is. Northrop, Carroll, Snider, Canterbury, Dwenger. 5 good programs. Canterbury, as I mentioned, ranked 3rd in the state. Northrop and Dwenger just outside of that, with Carroll at 13. Excuse me, Carroll ranked 15th in the state by the coaches. 13.5. Your score. Goal kick coming for Snider, as this game is all but over on Hancock Field. What a lovely field it is. Ball popped up by Lee. Smits. Swinty is going to filter back through Warman. Limbs it up here to Kuntz, and just too far and heavy from Warman. Throw in for Snider. Throw in Look for Lane. Through ball to Morgan. Morgan with the right foot and save by Canterbury and Tanner Camp. First real save of any real danger having to be played, and that's by the third string keeper for Coach Mock. So we have 12 minutes left in the match. 8-0, Canterbury on top. Gonna get a foul called against Snider. It's gonna be a free kick in some dangerous territory. Let's see who will take it for Coach Mock. Looks like Swinty and Caudill. Caudill will now take sole possession. Kai Caudill. Swinty now rejoins him. 4 in the box for Canterbury, 3-man wall. Caudill, right-footed shot, bender, and deflected off the chest of Roberts, but then picked up on the deflection. There's Morgan. Good give and go. Morgan is going to show the speed here on Warman. Warman just gets a nudge. Lane comes in to Swinty. Swinty clears it with the help of McCardle. Victor James finds Boozman. Boozman being pressured by Smits. Swinty picks that one off. Davidson has Clark. Sophomore met Clark. Left-footed shot. Nope, that's a cross. And good breakup by Snider and Paul Boozman. That was off the hand of Ethan Swinty. 10:45 to play. Free kick coming for Snider. Warman, good play in the ball, and that will be a foul called on Snider. And number 15, Zachary Stevens. 10 minutes of play in the match. 8-0 your score, Canterbury. Then in control from the opening kickoff on Hancock Field. Nice fall evening in Fort Wayne. Nance looked to clear it, couldn't. Back to Boozman. Boozman finds a teammate and Burgett. Burgett back to Nance. And McCardle will possess for Canterbury. Back to Ethan Swinty. That was lead to Davison. Davison just couldn't control it over here on the near side to number 2, Mick Clark. Subs in for Snider. Number 7, Nicholas Graber, and number 4, Nicholas Abella, 2 seniors, playing their last match of their career, along with that kid right there, number 2, Matthew Lane, captain for Snider. That's a tough draw for Snider and this sectional and some of the loaded teams in the city, and their records do prove that to be true. Off the shoulder of Boozman, Davidson looked to release Clark, as that's going to be called a handball on Snider. Free kick for Canterbury. Quick one over here near side to Coons. Coons with the left-footed cross, and there is Roberts with the easy catch. Look for the quick throw out. We'll take the kick instead. McCardle heads it over to Corbett. Corbett goes far side to Caudill. Caudill, nice juggling. Settles down to him. A good leaf pass to Swinty. Swinty, Smits. Boozman wins that shoulder to shoulder. Near side. Lane, excuse me, that's number 5. Burgett. Swinty for Canterbury. Gives it to Lee. There was Nance. Boozman clears it out. There is Warman. Swinty. 50-50, won by Canterbury, but now possessed by Snider. But Caudill was quicker to that ball. 7.5 to play. What a match for Canterbury. As the offense on display this evening. Goal after goal, 4 in the first half, 2 in the second. Logan Lee and Logan Schreiber both with a hat trick here this evening. Schreiber with his 7th goal, and Logan Lee with his 11th. As Schreiber is the senior, Lee the sophomore. 6.5 to play. Ball is put back in the attacking end for Snider. Left-footed kick, but that's right to a Panther, but too heavy of a touch. McCardle tracked it down. Kuntz, ooh, dangerous play. That should be a foul called on Snider. That's going to be called on Canterbury, as Kuntz is the one that got the touch on the ball. Not sure how they call that against Canterbury. But either way, not a whole lot of determining factor in the match, as we're at 8-0, just under 6 minutes. Boozman will come over to take the free kick. Boozman, top of the box, chested out by Warman. Swinty knees it. Clark, Lee, Swinty clears. The team defense by the second team here for Canterbury. As they push the offense, that ball just played behind Caudill, but they had numbers for a minute. Picked off nicely by Lane, but given back to Carroll. Corbett, Caudill, Smits, Swinty. Looks to switch a pitch, but can't get it through. Morgan keeps possession. And big ball deflected by Warman. McCardle clears it out towards the midfield. Kick back in by Morgan. Boozman. 4.5 to play. As always, Summit City Sports will hop down and get you some interviews after the match. Ball's played in, headed up by Warman. McCardle took a elbow to the nose and is bleeding. Looks like he got a little nosebleed on the elbow, but the foul was called on him. As Gatz will come in for McCardle. Just under 4 minutes to play. Eight 0. Morgan to take the free kick. Right-footed shot and over the crossbar by a couple feet. We'll stay 8-0. Canterbury in control, obviously, here on Hancock Field. Outstanding possession was on display for Canterbury here this evening, as I'll ask Coach Mock about that very thing. So they controlled quite a bit of it, which led to some easy chances in the box for his offensive squad. Davidson looked to throw it in the box, but that was cleared out by Boozman. Lost control of it for a minute, did Swinty. And now corralled and possessed by Snider. Popped back out and cleared under 3 minutes. 8-0 is your scorers. Lee, Keegan Lee to Smits. Caudill cuts it back. Leaves it now to Corbett. Ian Corbett, right-footed ground cross. Picked off by Davidson. Attempted shot blocked. And shoulder to shoulder, no. Back out to Kuntz. Kuntz with the nice ball. Cuts it to the center pitch. Little flick in and header by Smits. But you could see the tactic and skill on display for Canterbury. 8-0, 2 minutes. Just under 2 minutes to play. SummitCitySports.com brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Jake Atkinson on the camera. Tim Atkinson bringing you play-by-play. We'll be out here for the second match, which will be Dwanger taking on Carroll for the right to move on to play this explosive Canterbury Cavalier team. Canterbury obviously the favorite in this sectional, ranked 3rd in the state. Minute 20 to play. Minute 10 on the clock. 8-0 is your score. Let's see if that's where it'll end. That'll be the only question remaining here in the match, as Corbett with this sliding pass. Good flick there to Smith. Davidson, and Davidson just put it over the crossbar, or that would have been 9-0 for Canterbury. They have just been striking on all cylinders. Coach Mock's got to be extremely happy as we're under 30 seconds to play. 8-0. Ball comes out to midfield, 15 seconds. Caudill looked to flick it on. Keegan, that was hit by Smits, out, and that's where we'll end. So Canterbury will move on to play the winner of the second match between Carroll and Dwanger. We'll take a short break, get you some interviews, and then join you for the second match of the semifinal. For Jake Atkinson, this is Tim Atkinson, SummitCitySports.com. Sitting here with Coach Mock. Outstanding match here tonight for your kids. Coming up 8-0 in your first match here in 2A in the sectionals this year. What did you see here early besides the goals, and what led to those goals and the difference here? To me, it looked like it was just tons of possession for you guys. What did you see on that end?
We had lots of possession. I thought we were dangerous with the possession. Instead of just knocking it around for the sake of knocking it around, I thought we put them under pressure and made them make decisions, and that led to some openings. And for a change, we finished them, so we'll take it and run.
Now, since Akil Watts has left the squad, you guys seem to be clicking a little more there in the midfield with Lee and West now in there. Has there been much of a difference or a change for your kids in that regard?
Well, you lose a player like Akil. He's one of the best in the country. But what has happened is guys are not waiting for him to make something happen. They're taking the chance to make things happen themselves, which is what you hope for. And they've begun to step up and figure out they can do that.
Absolutely, they have. Now, you get to play, lucky you get to face the winner here of Dwanger, the SAC champion Carroll, one of your guys' huge rival here. What are you looking in here tonight's match as you stick around and watch this match? Is there anything, or is it just Canterbury needs to come out and play their game on Saturday and then it'll go from there?
Well, we definitely have to play our game. I don't think I really want to play either one of them, so I guess we'll deal with whatever we get, but it won't be easy, that's for sure.
Great game, great match here tonight. Good statement win, continuation from Dwenger, and we'll see you out here Saturday afternoon.
Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.